Hi, and after a long hiatus, welcome to another episode of the Average Joe Hockey Report. In this video, since Urinating Tree came up with the 2019 NFL entry draft 5 years later, here's my 2019 NHL entry draft 5 years later. Okay, let's dive in. For the again, the ratings will go, success, bust, or too early to tell. Regardless, yeah, you get my point. All right. So for the first overall pick, the New Jersey Devils selected Jack Hughes. Success. Although he hasn't necessarily been able to play a full 82 game season, and he's always missed some games. He's one of the best. He's the best player. He's basically the face of the franchise of the New Jersey Devils. Nothing more to be said there. Number with the second overall pick, the New York Rangers select Capo Caco. Bust. Capo Caco has only been able to play one full 82 game season where he had 40 points, and it's just not looking good for Capo Caco. There's been multiple trade rumors and whatnot. It's just not looking good for him. With the third overall pick, the Chicago Blackhawks select Kirby Dach. Meh. Um, this is I think this is someone that has potential, but this guy just needs to stay healthy. He's yet to play an 82 game season. Yeah, I mean, he did. He unfortunately, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Although when he got injured this past season, it was a freak accident. Jared Tenorti tried to line him up for a clean hit and did eventually give him a clean hit, but unfortunately, before the clean hit into the bench, unfortunately his knee skated into Kirby Dach's knee, injuring him. But yeah, meh. At number 4, the Colorado Avalanche select Bowen Byram, and to be determined. I think there's still potential there. He did have a season high 29 points between the Colorado Avalanche and the Buffalo Sabres, but this is a guy that's hasn't necessarily been able to stay healthy. He does have a Stanley Cup championship, but yeah, if he could stay healthy, I think he'll be very good for the Buffalo Sabres, but he absolutely needs to stay healthy, so I'm saying that so far. With the fifth overall pick, the Los Angeles Kings select Alex Turcotte. I'm gonna say bust right now. He's mostly spent his time in the Ontario Reign. I don't think the Los Angeles Kings all have that great of depth, and I honestly think he has a chance to crack the lineup, but hasn't necessarily. So yeah, I'm gonna say bust. With the sixth overall pick, the Detroit Red Wings select Moritz Seider. Success. Seider's been able to stay healthy every season. He's consistently notched, over 40 points in those 3 seasons. Should only get better. No, that ended up being a good pick for the Detroit Red Wings. With the ninth, with the seventh overall pick, the Buffalo Sabres select Dylan Cousins, and I'm gonna say it's a success. The last 2 seasons he's had 68 points in 81 games. A bit of a downgrade, 47 points in 79 games, but I think things only go up from here for Dylan Cousins. I think the Sabres will only get better as they get older and whatnot. And no, I no, I think it was a good pick for the Sabres. With the ninth overall pick, the Anaheim Ducks select Trevor Zegras, and I'm gonna have to say, man, like the last 2 seasons were pretty good. The 2 seasons prior to his last season was pretty good. 61 points, 75 games, 65 points in 81 games, but 15 and 31, and then constant trade rumors. Um, and then he might be on the way out, considering that Anaheim's got very much good depth, and then to add to it, Zegras' 200-foot game's been constantly questioned. So I'm gonna have to say, man, there's good production, whatever, but he could be on his way out to Anaheim. With the 10th overall pick, the Vancouver Canucks select Vasily Podkolzin. Bust. Here's a guy that just has not been able to crack the Vancouver Canucks lineup. He's put up some pretty good points with the Abbotsford Canucks in the AHL, but it just hasn't necessarily. Right now, his career just hasn't necessarily translated to any success at all, and I don't know if I don't know if they will ever translate to any success. Let's just say that. With the 11th overall pick, the then Arizona Coyotes. Who knows? This could be Utah or Salt Lake City now. Well, anyways, they selected Victor Soderstrom. It's looking like another bust. This is another player who has not been able to crack the Arizona Coyotes lineup. He's mostly been playing with the Tucson Roadrunners. It's not like the Coyotes, that have a star-studded lineup. So for him to not be able to crack the lineup, I'm gonna have to say bust with him. With the 12th overall pick, the Minnesota Wild select Matthew Boldy. Success. Boldy had a pretty good first season with the Minnesota Wild with 39 points in 47 games. Then he played 81 games and has notched 63 points, and then 69 points in 75 games. He's only getting better. Good job, Minnesota. With the 13th overall pick, the Florida Panthers select Spencer Knight. And this is too early to tell. Here's a guy that, is still pretty young at 23 years old. He's not necessarily going to take the reins from Sergei Bobrovsky just yet. He was in the NHLPA assistance program, whatnot. I don't know, but there's still hope for him, I would say. So yeah, I'm just gonna say to be determined. With the 14th overall pick, the Philadelphia Flyers select Cam York. Success. 30 points in 82 games. I think he's only gonna get better. I like his two-way game. There's not much more to be said there. With the 15th overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens select Cole Caulfield. Success. Caulfield started off slow, but he had 65 points in 82 games. He's almost notched 30 goals a few times. I think he'll only get better as the team gets better. He's on a solidified line with Nick Suzuki and and Juraj Slafkovsky. And the offensive defensemen are coming in. Lane Hudson, Logan Mailloux eventually and whatnot. So no, Caulfield, great pick there. With the 16th overall pick, the Colorado Avalanche select Alex Newhook. Meh. He's managed to get a decent amount of points or whatever, but I guess it was looking like he did have a career high with the Montreal Canadiens, but he did miss quite a few games with injuries, whatever. Does have a Stanley Cup, but there's still a lot of work for him to be done. We'll see what happens though. With the 17th overall pick, the Vegas Golden Knights selected Peyton Krebs. And I'm just let's just say it's to be determined. He's only had maybe 3 full stints in the NHL with the Buffalo Sabres. I think he was a part of the Jack Eichel trade, but it's taken him a while to get going. But I don't know if I'd write him off yet, so I'll just say to be determined. With the 18th overall pick, the Dallas Stars select Thomas Harley. Success. 47 points in 79 games this season. He's the second puck moving defenseman that the Dallas Stars needed. Good job, Dallas. With the 19th overall pick, the Ottawa Senators select Lassie Thompson. Bust. I don't see where Lassie Thompson fits in the Ottawa Senators in the future. And here's a guy that's only played 18 games for the Senators. I don't know. I just don't. 18 career games, that is. That was he didn't play at all for the Senators in 2023, 2024, and even then he only notched 21 points with the Belleville Senators in the AHL. So yeah, I don't know if there's potential there. So we're not necessarily going to go over all of all of the last 11 picks. We're just going to go over over some of the notables from those picks from 20 to 31. All right. So with the 20th overall pick, the Winnipeg Jets select Ville Heinola. Bust. I just don't have faith. As a Winnipegger, I just don't have faith in the Jets. Um, uh, pushing Heinola to where he should be. I just, it's just setback after setback after setback, and I just don't see anything there, unfortunately, for Heinola. All right. We're going to go over to the pick number 23, which is Simon Holmstrom of the New York Islanders. Meh. Meh. I I mean, he's only played also only 2 seasons. He had a 50 game season with the New York Islanders in 2022, 2023, and then a 75 game season with the Islanders in this season. Notching 25 points, not bad, but it's taken him a while to finally crack the Islanders. We'll see if he's an actual. We'll see what the potential there is. Right now, I'm gonna say meh. With the 24th overall pick, the Nashville Predators select Philip Tomasino. I'm gonna say meh. I mean, he's a decent player. I don't think he's only just a more or less a role player on the Nashville Predators, but whatever. I don't know. I don't necessarily know which line he's on, whatever. But I don't follow Nashville too closely. But he seems to have found seems to have been a bit of a regular with the team, whatever. Um, just gonna quickly check daily face-off, see where they have him. Oh, they don't even have him in the lineup. Okay, so I guess he's been in and out of the lineup for the Predators and the Admirals. I don't know. Regardless, seems like a decent player. I don't know if I'm saying that. With the 25th overall pick, the Washington Capitals collect Connor McMichael. I think this has potential to be a success. 33 points in 80 games this season. I think he's only going to get better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind this. I like this pick for Washington. It's a good low. It's a good steal at 25th overall, I feel. With the 26th overall pick, the Calgary Flames select Jacob Pelletier. Meh. Or do I even say bust for that matter? Like even his stats in the AHL after his first AHL season, not all the greatest. I don't know. But I think there is a chance for him to crack the lineup. But right now, he's just been a bust, I'd say. With the 27th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Lightning select Nolan Foote, and he was eventually traded to the New Jersey Devils. Where I don't know. I don't see where he cracks the lineup. I'm gonna say bust. And then I'm only gonna go over two other picks because we're gonna go over the 28th overall pick, which is Ryan Suzuki. Suzuki, it's taken him a while to crack the lineup or whatever. He's just mostly played in the AHL. But I'm gonna say to be determined. I don't think he clearly hasn't had a a fair shot at the NHL, and yeah, like I don't know. I'd wait a bit on him more or less. And the last pick I want to look up is the Boston Bruins at 30th overall select John Beecher. And I don't know, Beecher's to be determined, more or less. Like I guess he only cracked the Bruins lineup this season, whatever. We'll see. It's to be determined. So that's it for all the first round. This video is mostly based on opinion and may not have any implications on how these players or the teams they play for do and whatnot. So remember, if I'm wrong, don't belittle me, educate me. Take care, everyone, and follow my Instagram account, The Average Joe Hockey Report, and my YouTube channel, Marty Tommy, in parentheses, Average Joe Hockey Report.